Howdy howdy, my name is John, and this video is my November 2022 reading wrap-up. The first book I finished in the month was Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, I believe is the woman's name. This book has gotten a lot of love here on BookTube lately, and so I wanted to try to figure out what the hype was about. I didn't enjoy the first 70 pages or so very much. The pacing was really slow for my taste. At about the 70-page mark, kind of the mystery kind of starts to kick in, and so it got interesting enough for me to finish out the book. While this book really wasn't for my taste, I do understand now why it's so popular. This book is perfect for someone who enjoys reading mysteries, but isn't really familiar with the fantasy genre, because this is mostly a mystery with some fantastical elements to it. I gave the book 3 stars, and I do recommend it if you're either interested in fantasy or mysteries, or trying to combine the two genres. The next book I finished was Britt-Marie Was Here by Fredrik Backman. This is my least favorite of the Backman books that I've read thus far, but I did still enjoy it. My biggest problem was I did have trouble connecting with the main character in this one, Britt-Marie, and I just didn't find her story to be as interesting as the stories in the previous 2 books of his that I've read. I gave the book 3 stars, and I do think it's worth reading if you're a fan of Backman's writing. The next book I read was For the Foundation by Isaac Asimov. This is the second book in the Foundation series if you're reading them in chronological order. It takes place just before the events of the Foundation trilogy. I did enjoy reading this book. I gave it 4 stars. This book is kind of divided up into 4 basically short stories or episodes. It's all the story of Harry Seldon, the man who invented psychohistory, and some of those episodes worked better for me than others did. Definitely some interesting ideas in here, and if you're a fan of Asimov, I definitely recommend giving this a try. It's still preliminary at this point. I think in most cases you're going to want to read the Foundation trilogy before you read the prequels. But I didn't really see anything in this book that was a major spoiler for the Foundation trilogy. Unfortunately, it's been a while since I've read the trilogy, so I'll have to kind of reserve that judgment for later. The next book I finished is Engineering in Plain Sight by Grady Hillhouse. Grady is the creator of the YouTube channel Practical Engineering, and I really enjoy his videos. I'm going to link his video explaining the Texas blackout that happened a couple of winters ago. This book examines the engineering that we can kind of see in our day-to-day lives, and that most of us probably really haven't thought too much about. It's really easy to take the world that we live in for granted, and this book kind of highlights the engineering challenges that go into building the world that we get to enjoy. This book mostly covers civil engineering. There's also a little bit of electrical engineering in here as well. That means that the other fields of engineering are not included in this, but you can kind of get an idea of what they go through by reference. The book has a lot of illustrations in color that really kind of help to explain the equipment and its functions. I really enjoyed reading this, and I gave it 5 stars. This is an excellent resource for say a teenager that's contemplating going into engineering, or just for the general person who is interested in understanding the structures that we see in our day-to-day lives. The last book I finished in November is Executive by Piers. This is the 4th book in his Bio of a Space Tyrant series. In this series, our main character has achieved power, and he learns the difficulties of wielding that power. Overall, I think this is a pretty good story. I do wish the book would have kind of gone into some of the issues that he deals with a little bit more in depth, but overall, I did enjoy it, and I gave it 4 stars. Overall, it was a pretty good reading month for me. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.